Welcome back to Ref Me Up 2.0, the Rookie Guide. Today we are covering Section 5 of the CCA Football Officiating Manual, Conduct and Ethics. Section 4 asks who you are as an official. Section 5 tells you how you are expected to behave as a professional in every context where you carry the title of official. 15 standards. They are binding. They are specific. They are not suggestions, and they do not leave room for interpretation. Social media, public trust, impartiality, mastery of the rules, honor and dignity, communication, preparation, access and equity, punctuality, cooperation, gambling, honesty about qualifications, accountability, and never drawing undue attention to yourself or your crew. Every one of those fully covered. Let's go through every standard. Standard 1. Use of social media to convey information or discuss any aspect of games, coaches, teams, or players is strictly prohibited. This is unambiguous. It does not matter what platform you use, what account you post from, whether you are anonymous, whether the comment is positive or negative, or whether the game has already been played. No posts, no comments, no reactions, no sharing game-related content. Any use of social media to discuss officiating, teams, coaches, or players violates this standard. The reputational risk to the official, the crew, the conference, and the entire profession is too significant to permit any exceptions whatsoever. Standard 2. Officials shall bear a great responsibility for engendering public confidence in sports. The integrity of competition rests on the credibility of the officials who administer it. When the public believes officials are making decisions fairly and correctly, the game has value. When they don't, the game loses legitimacy. Every call you make, every interaction you have, and every statement you give is either a contribution to or a subtraction from the public's confidence in the sport. This is not abstract. It is your daily responsibility. Standard 3. Officials shall be free of obligation to any interest other than the impartial and fair judging of sports competitions. You cannot owe anything to anyone that might influence how you officiate. No debts to coaches, programs, conferences, players, or institutions that could affect your decisions on the field. The moment you carry an obligation into a game, a favor owed, a relationship to protect, an outcome you need, you have compromised the fundamental requirement of your position. Impartial judging is not possible when obligation exists. Standard 4. Officials shall hold and maintain the basic tenets of officiating, which include history, integrity, neutrality, respect, sensitivity, professionalism, discretion, and tactfulness. These 8 tenets are not aspirational labels. They are operational standards. History, know where the profession comes from and honor it. Integrity, your word and your call are one. Neutrality, no side, no preference, no agenda. Respect, for the game, the players, the coaches, and the institution. Sensitivity, awareness of context and impact. Professionalism, in appearance, conduct, and communication. Discretion, knowing what to say, what not to say, and when. Tactfulness, delivering difficult truths with appropriate care. All 8, all the time. Standard 5. Officials shall master both the rules of the game and mechanics necessary to enforce the rules, and shall exercise authority in an impartial, firm, and controlled manner. Mastery is non-negotiable. Knowing the rulebook at a general level is not sufficient. You must know it deeply enough to make correct decisions at game speed, under pressure, without hesitation. Mechanics mastery means getting to the right position, using the correct signals, and executing every procedural requirement precisely. Authority exercised in an impartial, firm, and controlled manner means you apply the rules consistently, you don't waver under pressure, and you never lose composure. Standard 6. Officials shall uphold the honor and dignity of the profession in all interactions with student athletes, coaches, school administrators, colleagues, and the public. Note the scope, all interactions, not just during games, not just with coaches and players, with administrators, colleagues, and the public as well. Every conversation, every appearance, every email, every casual exchange, while you carry the title of official, is a representation of the profession. The honor and dignity of officiating is upheld not only by the big decisions under pressure, but by how you carry yourself in every ordinary moment. Standard 7. Officials shall display and execute superior communication skills, both verbal and nonverbal. Verbal communication includes how you announce penalties, respond to coaches' questions, address players, and coordinate with your crew. Nonverbal communication includes body language, posture, presence on the field, signal precision, and the confidence conveyed by your movements. Both matter equally. An official who gives a technically correct call with poor body language undermines the call. Superior means not merely adequate, it means clear, professional, confident, and appropriately decisive. Standard 8. Officials shall prepare themselves both physically and mentally, and shall comport themselves in a manner consistent with the high standards of the profession. Preparation was addressed in the axioms, and here it is made a formal ethical obligation. You are not simply encouraged to prepare, you are required to. Being physically unprepared to work a game is a professional failure. Being mentally unprepared, not knowing the rules, not having studied the points of emphasis, not completing your pregame responsibilities, is equally a professional failure. Comportment means how you present yourself, appearance, demeanor, punctuality, and conduct before and after the game. Standard 9. Officials shall not be party to actions designed to unfairly limit or restrain access to officiating assignments, or to association membership. This includes selection for positions of leadership based upon economic factors, race, color, age, sex, physical handicap, country, or national origin. This standard is comprehensive. You are not only prohibited from personally discriminating, you are prohibited from being party to any action that creates unfair barriers. Economic factors, race, creed, color, age, sex, physical handicap, country, national origin, all of these are explicitly named. The officiating profession must be open to everyone who qualifies. Any official who participates in closing those doors is in violation of this standard. Standard 10. Officials shall be punctual and professional in the fulfillment of all contractual obligations. Every game contract is a professional commitment. Being late to a game, failing to complete pre-game duties, or failing to fulfill any other contractual obligation is not just an inconvenience. It is a breach of professional ethics. Punctuality is a form of respect for the game, the crews, the coaches, the teams, and the competition itself. Standard 11. Officials shall work with each other and their governing bodies in a constructive and cooperative manner. The officiating profession functions through crews, conferences, and governing bodies. Constructive engagement means contributing positively to the improvement of the profession. Cooperative means supporting the decisions and processes of governing bodies, even when you disagree. Disputes are resolved through proper channels, not through public criticism, non-compliance, or working against the system from the inside. Standard 12. Officials shall never participate in any form of illegal gambling on sports contests, may never gamble on any sporting event in which they have either a direct or indirect involvement, and may never gamble on events involving college athletics. This is 3 separate absolute prohibitions, and every word matters. 1. Never illegal gambling on any sports contest, ever. 2. Never gamble on any sporting event in which you have either a direct or indirect involvement in any capacity. 3. Never gamble on events involving college athletics, full stop. Not don't get caught, not only if it's small, never. Violation of any of these 3 is grounds for immediate disqualification from officiating. Standard 13. Officials shall not make false or misleading statements regarding their qualifications, rating, credentials, experience, training, or competence. This covers every form of self-representation in the officiating context. On applications, in conversations with assigners, on officiating profiles, in communications with conferences, and in any other professional exchange. The categories are broad by design, qualifications, rating, credentials, experience, training, and competence. Overstating your experience, misrepresenting your certification level, claiming training you haven't completed. These are all violations, and they erode the trust that the entire assignment system depends upon. Standard 14. Officials shall accept responsibility for all actions taken. This principle is short but significant. There is no room in the officiating profession for deflecting, minimizing, or refusing to own your decisions. Every call you make is yours. Every mistake is yours. Every communication you have is yours. When you are wrong, you say so. When you make a mistake, you acknowledge it. When your conduct falls short of the standard, you own it. Accepting responsibility is not weakness. It is the mark of a professional who respects the integrity of the role they hold. Standard 15. Officials should never do anything to draw undue attention to themselves or the crew. The best officiated game is one where the officials are barely noticed. Flashy mechanics, unnecessary commentary, dramatic gestures, lingering in front of cameras, seeking post-game media attention. All of these violate this standard. When officials draw attention to themselves, they take attention away from the players and the competition. The goal is a game that is remembered for what happened on the field, not for what any official did or said. This applies on the field and off. Social media posts, public commentary, and anything else that places the official in the spotlight of a game context is a form of drawing undue attention. This standard and standard 1 work together. Stay quiet on social media and stay in the background everywhere else. Let's go through all 15 standards together. 1. Social media, discussing games, coaches, teams, or players on any social media platform is strictly prohibited. 2. Public confidence. Officials bear great responsibility for engendering public confidence in sports. 3. Free of obligation. Officials shall be free of any obligation other than the impartial and fair judging of sports competitions. 4. Core tenets. Officials shall hold and maintain history, integrity, neutrality, respect, sensitivity, professionalism, discretion, and tactfulness. 5. Mastery and authority. Master both the rules and the mechanics, and exercise authority impartially, firmly, and in a controlled manner. 6. Honor and dignity. Uphold honor and dignity in all interactions with athletes, coaches, administrators, colleagues, and the public. 7. Communication. Display and execute superior communication skills, both verbal and nonverbal. 8. Preparation. Prepare physically and mentally, and comport yourself consistently with the high standards of the profession. 9. No barriers. Not party to actions unfairly limiting access to officiating, assignments, or membership. No discrimination on any protected basis. 10. Punctuality. Punctual and professional in the fulfillment of all contractual obligations. 11. Cooperation. work with each other and governing bodies in a constructive and cooperative manner. 12. No gambling, never illegal gambling. Never gamble on events with direct or indirect involvement. Never gamble on college athletics. 13. No false statements, no false or misleading statements about qualifications, rating, credentials, experience, training, or competence. 14. Accountability, accept responsibility for all actions taken. 15. No undue attention, never do anything to draw undue attention to yourself or the crew. 15 standards, know everyone. And that is Section 5, Conduct and Ethics, complete. 5 categories hold all 15 standards together. First, impartiality, free of all obligation. Every decision on facts and circumstances only. No threats and no retaliation. These standards protect the integrity of competition itself. Second, professional competence. Master the rules. Master the mechanics. Prepare physically and mentally. Superior verbal and nonverbal communication. These are not aspirational goals. They are required professional obligations. Third, conduct and dignity. Honor and dignity in all interactions, not just games, not just with coaches, but in every exchange. Never draw undue attention to yourself or the crew. Uphold all 8 core tenets at all times. The uniform carries a standard in every moment. Fourth, equity and access. No barriers to officiating access or membership. No discrimination in assignment or leadership on any protected basis. The profession must be open to everyone who qualifies. Fifth, absolute prohibitions and accountability. Social media on games is prohibited. Gambling on any event with direct or indirect involvement is prohibited. Gambling on college athletics is prohibited. False statements about qualifications are prohibited. These are career-ending violations. And through all of it, accept full responsibility for every action you take. That is Section 5, 15 standards, binding on every NCAA official. Know them, follow them, uphold them. Thanks for joining Ref Me Up 2.0. I hope you got 1% better today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Rookie Guide.
Well, that's a wrap for this section. Hopefully y'all learned something today. If you made it all the way through, then you're a real one, and I hope it brought you closer to your goals. Go ahead and subscribe and share with a football official, fan, or coach.